received the kingdom. Then he commanded these servants to be called unto him, to whom he had given the money, that he might know how much every man had gained by trading. Then came the first, saying, Lord, thy pound hath gained 10 pounds. And he said unto him, Well, thou good servant, because thou hast been faithful in a very little, have thou authority over 10 cities. And the second came, saying, Lord, thy pound hath gained 5 pounds. And he said likewise to him, Be thou also over 5 cities. And another came, saying, Lord, behold, here is thy pound which I have kept laid up in a napkin. For I feared thee, because thou art an austere man. Thou takest up, and thou layest down, and thou layest not down, and reapest that thou didst not sow. And he said unto him, Out of thy own mouth will I judge thee, thou wicked servant. Thou knewest that I was an austere man, taking up that I lay not down. You understand? I mean, he was greedy, taking stuff that wasn't really totally his, and reaping that I did not sow, meaning that, again, he was greedy. He say, Wherefore then gavest not thou my money into the bank, that at my coming I might have required mine own with usury? Which means, how am I going to give you money and you sit here and tell me you know how greedy I am? And then I'm giving you this money to hold on for me, and I done gave you somewhere to live and everything, let you stay in my house. And then I come back to find out that all this time I've been gone, the only thing you could give me back is the money that I gave you when I left. What have you done all the time I've been gone? Do you understand? Okay. It says, Wherefore then gavest not thou my money into the bank? I mean, you didn't even let it draw interest in the bank, that at my coming I might have required mine own with usury. And he said unto them that stood by, Take from him the pound, and give it to him that hath 10 pounds. And they said unto him, Lord, he hath 10 pounds. I mean, he already hath 10 pounds. But listen, he made it. He started with 1 pound. So when they all started with 1 pound, this man turned his 1 pound into 10. The other man turned his 1 pound into 5. One guy didn't even increase anything on his pound. So now if I'm the homeowner, or I'm the sharecropper, or whatever, the master, why would I not want to give everything I got to the guy who turned my 1 pound into 10 pounds? It just makes sense. Okay? And they said unto him, Lord, he hath 10 pounds. For I say unto you, that unto every one which hath shall be given, and from him that hath not, even that he hath shall be taken away from him. So that means that the ones that have will have, and the ones that don't have, even what you don't have, the greedy is still going to be out to try to take that away from you. Okay? But those mine enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. Now listen. But those my enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. Which means he's saying all these people who set up and deliberately tried to stop me from having what I'm going to have anyway, bring them before me, and we're going to kill them. We're going to slay them. Okay, now this is in their book that they give you with men wanting to glorify their self-appraisal and think they have the right to have these type of behaviors. Alright? But the true reality of what's going on is that the ordainment of a universal coronation where a true king comes and have the elements to back up his reign. Now this is something that is not going to be able to be ignored. Trust me on that. See, the getting down ain't even started to the getting down yet, but it's coming. Just take my word for that. Okay? Alright, now listen. It says, Jesus reaps over Jerusalem. And when he was come near, he beheld the city and wept over it, saying, If thou hadst known, even thou at least in this day, the things which belong unto thy peace, but now they are hid from thine eyes. For the days shall come upon thee, that thine enemies shall cast a trench about thee, and compass thee round, and keep thee in every side. Keep thee in on every side. That means the stumble blocks. You see, put us in those ghettos. Okay, put those freeways around the ghetto, and then put circumstances of poverty all around you to make sure that you stay in this state of poverty forever. See, this was Yeshua prophesying to his people, the black people, of the day coming about oppression and all that, because he was oppressed. They was oppressed in Jerusalem. He was fighting Roman oppression in Jerusalem. See, they had already started with all their crap then. That's how the Palestinians end up. And the Palestinians was a form of the Arabs. There was a mixture. The white people came in there. The white men started having all those black women. Black men was having all the white women. They developed that group of people that's there today called themselves the Palestinians, who later all joined up with the forces over. They all ran the black people out, just greeted them out, murdered them, sent them running, just like y'all do everywhere y'all go. Eventually, after they took everyone in exile and enslaved everyone, the Jews and the Arabs stayed there. The Jews used the Arabs all the time. That whole Islam thing is Jewish. So they started there, set up house, let the Palestinian Arabs mixture of black and white, Mexican. They stayed there and flourished forever until around 1940, somewhere in there during World War II. They decided that they wanted the land of the Canaanites for Israel, the state of Israel. So they called it the state of Israel because it's not a country, it's another state of America. So that's why they call it the state of Israel, because it's just another conglomerate of the United States. Because the Jews own this country, because they enslaved us melanated people all over the planet. And every place they enslaved us and stole the land, by stealing the land, they implement policies that keep our circumstances of poverty active and in effect forever. And as long as we don't have any land, you don't have shit. So that's the reason the tornadoes are going to kill you guys off this planet, because the universe does not plan on us being misled by this book forever and being victimized and not living up to what our true objective of coming to this earth was implemented for. All this bullshit, our women coochie popping and having abortions and doing drugs and all this shit that's going on is out of here. I'm telling you all right now. Just get ready. The ones who ain't going to be able to change is going to be recreated. You're going to have to go somewhere where that stuff's going to be, do it forever. You can keep coming in forever if you want to doing it, but we got different plans for Earth. Earth will be returned to a God's calibration. Okay, just know that. Okay, but now they are hid from thine eyes, for the day shall come upon thee that thine enemies shall cast a trench about thee, and compass thee round, and keep thee in on every side, and shall lay thee even with the ground. Listen what it's saying. And shall lay thee even with the ground, and thy children which in thee, and not even the pregnant women, and thy children within thee, see, kill you. Lay with the ground and kill you, even with your children inside of you. And they shall not leave in thee one stone upon another, because thou knewest not the time of thy visitation. Okay? Now listen to that. That's something else. For real. If thou hadn't known, even thou at least in this thy day, the things which belong unto thy peace, but now they are hid from thine eyes. For the days shall come upon thee that thine enemies shall cast a trench about thee, and compass thee round, and keep thee in on every side, and shall lay thee even with the ground, and thy children within thee, and they shall not leave in thee one stone upon another, because thou knewest not the time of thy visitation. I mean, they're going to be killing every damn thing. Imagine that. Okay, the cleansing of the temple. And he went into the temple and began to cast out them that sold therein and them that bought. Now see, they inside of the church selling everything. See? That's what I was telling you, how they had came in and took over everything. The Pharisees changed everything that was a part of the natural way of the Canaanite people and just came for profit. That's all they was all about, making profit. My house is the house of prayer. Okay? This is what Yeshua was saying to them. It is written, my house is the house of prayer, but ye have made it a den of thieves. And he taught daily in the temple, but the chief priests and the scribes and the chief of the people sought to destroy him. See, this is the stuff that always happens when the enlightened man comes on the earth, because all the people that's making a profit off of misleading the masses, they don't want their money to be stopped. So what they be relying on is that the people don't listen to the Buddha or the Asar or the sun god, because the sun god destroys capitalism and he destroys poverty, and he restores generating of farming and all the stuff that's beneficial from everybody farming. It's returned into focus, you see. And so this is what the Asar is all about. It's about self-reliance, okay, and the regeneration of the earth. Okay, he taught daily in the temple, but the chief priests and the scribes and the chief of the people sought to destroy him, and could not find what they might do, for all the people were very attentive to hear him. Okay? And it came to pass that on one of those days, as he taught the people in the temple and preached the gospel, the chief priest and the scribe came upon him with the elders, and spake unto him, saying, Tell us, by what authority does it thou these things, or who is he that gave thee this authority? And he answered and said unto them, I will also ask you one thing, and answer me. The baptism of John, was it from heaven or of man? And they reasoned with themselves, saying, If we shall say from heaven, he will say, Why then believe ye him not? And if we say of man, all the people will stone us, for they be persuaded that John was a prophet. And they answered that they could not tell whence it was. And Jesus said unto them, Neither tell I you by what authority I do these things. And it says, the parable of the wicked husbandman. Okay, they began he to speak to the people this parable. A certain man planted a vineyard, and led it forth to husbandmen, and went into a far country for a long time. And at the season he sent a servant to the husbandmen, that they should give him of the fruit of the vineyard. But the husbandmen beat him, and sent him away empty. And again he sent another servant, and they beat him also, and entreated him shamefully, and sent him away empty. And again he sent a third man, and they wounded him also, and cast him out. Then said the Lord of the vineyard, What shall I do? I will send my beloved son. It may be they will reverence him when they see him. But when the husbandmen saw him, they reasoned among themselves, saying, This is the heir. Come, let us kill him, that the inheritance may be ours. So they cast him out of the vineyard and killed him. What therefore shall the Lord of the vineyard do unto them? He shall come and destroy these husbandmen, and shall give the vineyards to others. And when they heard it, they said, God forbid. And he beheld them, and said, What is this then that is written? The stone which the builders rejected, the same is become the head of the corner. Whatsoever shall fall upon that stone shall be broken, but on whatsoever it shall fall, it will grind him to powder. Okay? Now, this is a tribute to Caesar. And the chief priest